Hello everyone, and welcome to my research presentation on my proposed thesis for the spring of 2021. My name is Cadie Reiff. I'm a second-year master's student in the K&H department. My advisor is Dr. Robin Veely, and my presentation for today is titled Coaching Behaviors and Athletes' Willingness to Self-Report Injury. To begin, I'd like to give some background in sport participation rates along with some sport injury rates. Sport participation overall has a large amount of benefits. It can improve participants' cardiovascular health along with their psychological well-being. Many athletes are in sport from a young age to improve their gross motor functioning skills, increase their social skills, and to let out some extra energy. However, there is a large prevalence of injury while participating in sport. There's a large amount of literature showing the injury rates of athletes due to sport participation, and research has shown that the sport-related injuries are increasing as the years go on. Due to this high likelihood of athletes experiencing injury, it's necessary for athletes to feel comfortable and confident approaching their coach when they are injured. It's critical to know which coaching styles allow for open conversation about athletes' health and well-being. To look at coaching behaviors, I chose to use the self-determination theory developed by Desi and Ryan as a theoretical framework. Self-determination theory states that individuals have three basic needs that need to be fulfilled. Autonomy is a sense that an individual has control or say over their lives. For example, they choose to play sports rather than they're being forced to play sports. Competence is a sense of feeling effective in their lives. For example, an athlete having confidence in their ability to do a back handspring on the balance beam or to do a layup in basketball. Relatedness is a sense of having close and meaningful relationships with those who are in their lives. This means that the people who are in their lives really care about them, they feel that they believe them, and they accept them for who they are. Based upon this theory, coaching styles can be described in two different ways. There's the need-supportive coaching style and a controlling coaching style. A supportive coach aims to help their athletes reach those three basic needs. Some behaviors that follow this style can include allowing the athletes to make choices in their practice, acknowledging the athletes when they express their feelings or thoughts, and allowing athletes to take initiative for themselves. Giving feedback helps athletes move towards competence as well. Controlling coaches, on the other hand, can restrict or limit their athletes to reach those three needs we talked about. Behaviors that fall in line with this one are extreme rewards or punishments, feedback that criticizes mistakes or guilts them, threatening or intimidating them, and demanding things rather than explaining things. Now, for the purposes of the study and following SDT, I will be using these two coaching styles. However, using these two categories does not mean that a coach is either entirely controlling or entirely needs supportive. It should be more thought of as a continuous variable or a sliding scale between two coaches. To switch over to the injury portion of the proposed thesis, there's a plethora of previous research showing injury rates, types of injury, and differences across sport and genders of athletes. Previous research has shown that despite athletes knowing that injuries can be dangerous, they often choose to play through pain regardless. Research has been done to determine why athletes choose to play through pain or injury and has found reasons such as the ones on the slide, such as the sport ethic, passion for sport, avoiding disappointing others, and perceiving that there are expectations to play through pain or injury from their coach. Despite this knowledge of athletes playing through pain, there's little literature looking at the relationship of coaching behaviors and athletes' willingness to self-report injury. Although we know that athletes have numerous reasons for not playing through, for not reporting injury, there isn't much understanding of a possible direct relationship between coach behavior and athlete reporting. On this gap, the purpose of the proposed study is to examine the effects of perceived coaching styles on athletes' willingness to self-report injury. The goal is to understand if there is a direct pathway of influence from a coach's style and behaviors on an athlete's willingness to report their injury comfortably and openly to their coach. Participants for the study will include current college athletes or previous athletes that can reflect back on their most influential coach. There is no restriction on the type of sport for this study, however, they do need to be a competitive athlete or a previous competitive athlete. The goal is to include a total of 200 participants, including both male and female athletes. This study will take a quantitative approach. Data will be collected through a survey format to assess athletes' perceptions. To assess their perception of their coach, the controlling coach behavior scale will be used. It has 4 subscales listed there. And we will also be using the Sport Climate Questionnaire. This one kind of gets at the need supportive coaching behaviors that the controlling coach scale doesn't really get at. There will be a manipulation question following this one. It will ask participants to write a prompt, such as, please write the word athlete in the following blank, and that just helps to ensure that the participants are accurately filling out the survey. Following that, the participants will be prompted with an injury report section that will include the adopted Jesseman and Perrault in Godley, 2016. This will assess the athlete's overall willingness to self-report injury through 15 items. And then we also will have the 3 open-ended questions adopted from Weinberg, Vernau, and Horn in 2013. Those are asking if they have played through injury in the past, if they currently are, or if they plan to in the future. Once data is collected, it will be analyzed through structural equation modeling to assess connections between the variables. Hopefully this will fill the gaps in the literature to understand the relationship between coaching styles and athletes' willingness to self-report injury. With that, I conclude my presentation, and I thank you so much for the opportunity to present this proposed thesis. I greatly appreciate your time, and any feedback or questions you may have, you can contact me at my email there in the bottom right corner. I'd be happy to answer your questions and get any feedback. Thank you so much.